First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next, live on the YouTube world. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube. How are we doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
Such a fine Wednesday evening. We got Eric Marcotte in the room. He's got the okay means we're okay.
We're all good. We're sounding good. We're looking good, Eric.
We're going to talk about some NXT in just a few minutes, few seconds. We're live on YouTube. Obviously, you can find Up Next wherever you find your podcast. But how's everyone doing tonight? I see John Cena's in the room.
We've got Mike Hogan in the room.
Yep, shout out
got
Mike Hogan.
Frank in the room.
Got Frank. He does not hate wheels.
How's the chat, Frank? How's the chat?
We gotta know. Shout out Portman's chest tuft.
Oh yeah.
He always got it out.
I shaved today, but not there. gotta shout it out, right?
I guess we can start doing the show.
I think we should just crack right into it today.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Got lots and lots to talk about.
So much.
Let's do it.
Hello. Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. But of course, where else can they find us?
You can find us every Wednesday night on youtube.com/upnext at 10:30 Eastern Time. Yes. Shout out the YouTube room now.
Shout out YouTube room.
Shout out YouTube room.
Hello, welcome to Up Next. We chat about NXT every Wednesday. We are your NXT friends. And like you mentioned, we go live after NXT every Wednesday night. And I know a lot of people wanted a steak dinner tonight, but here at NXT, we did not do that.
We had roast chicken instead.
No, we had roast chicken.
Which you can find on our story on our Instagram at upNext Podcast.
Wow, look, we have our Up Next Twitter at upNext Podcast, but we decided hey, why not just post the silly shit we get into on an Instagram? So we encourage you to support us, follow us on Instagram at upNext Podcast, and you'll see such things as us listening to Meatloaf.
Oh, yeah.
3 a.m. or something like that. So, how are you?
I am good. I think I'm a lot better than you are. How are you?
Shout
out Braden Harrington, by the way, guys.
Yeah. So, yesterday, I worked all day, and you were at home, and you said you were just not having the best of days. So I said, hey, young chap, let's hang out. Let's do something. Let's, don't be in a sour mood.
Yeah.
Let's hang out and have a drink. And that's when it all went downhill for me.
Oh boy. Okay. For new listeners, we often get a bit merry. Usually on a Wednesday night after we finish recording this show, we have a few bevies. We talk about it on our AEW show on Thursdays about the antics we get up to.
Yeah.
Long-term listeners, we've been living with each other over 2 years now. We have been friends for, I'd say, at least a year on top of that. We've known each other at least 3 years now and have had many a night together.
Yeah.
I have never seen this man in the state he was last night. Am I okay to just say what happened?
I'll say alcohol can be the what's the saying? Alcohol can be
bad.
It can be the
alcohol's
source.
Bad.
It can be the fixture or source of all your problems.
So we go to our friend's bar, Wide Open, the host of Takeover Tailgate.
Yeah, they got a little patio thing going on.
They've got a front patio going on right now because we can't be inside right now at bars and restaurants, which absolutely sucks for my income. But that's another thing to be depressed about on another day. And yeah, so we're chilling outside. Our friend Trav, we've mentioned him on the show before.
Yep.
He shows up as well.
Yep.
We have a few shots. We had a couple of drinks beforehand, and then kind of Braden just keeps on going. Like our friend, the owner.
Yeah.
She's we just start talking about dads and stuff, and she's saying about how her like stepdad, like she considers her real dad, and how she's Korean, and she was saying about how when she was a kid she used to think she was white because her dad was white, and she thought that was her real dad,
Right.
and like all this. And she's like, but my stepdad's great, I consider him my real dad. And Braden just starts going, yeah, shout out your dad, shout out your dad. And Travis and like our friend Shannon was going, what's he saying? Like he would just go, oh, shout out this. And who was working earlier? Oh, it was Talisa earlier. Shout out Talisa. And they're going, what is he saying? And I go, I think he thinks we're live right now. And they go, what? I go, it's something he says when we're recording. I think he thinks we're live right now. You wait, he'll go into feedback in a second. And it was like, that was a bit weird.
So what you're saying is I got so drunk that I thought we were recording a
when
show.
when we stood outside in the cold on Spadina having a drink. And then like we start leaving and we walk our friend home because she lives relatively close and we don't like our female friends walking alone. We walk her home and you start just, I can't remember what you were yelling, but you were just yelling stuff. And I'm like, Braden, chill. And you're like, no, listen to the acoustics out here. Like acoustics, we're on Spadina. Like what? You just start yelling and we're like, chill, man. And then we end up at ours.
Yeah.
And we start just playing music. We're like, no, let's not watch.
You're checking out that Miley Cyrus zombie.
Yeah, so I'm like,
cover.
let's not watch wrestling for once. We put on the Miley Cyrus live Whiskey A Go Go performance of Zombie, which highly recommend. I keep playing it at the moment. It's fantastic. Then we put on some.
I don't remember it.
Okay, Braden doesn't remember any of this. We start putting on some Hans Zimmer, like his concert in Prague, which is epic, and our friend loved it. He was like, "This is sick."
Okay.
And then we're watching some Meatloaf. We're watching some Coldplay.
Was
we're
Johnny
watching some
Marr?
Celine.
Was Johnny Marr from the Smiths playing with Hans
Yeah,
Zimmer?
and you told us like every time he was on the screen.
Shout
out
out
to
Johnny
Johnny Marr. and then you picked up your drink you were drinking.
Yeah.
You stood up and you started just throwing the drink at me.
Yeah.
Like the actual liquid. And we were like, whoa, Braden, chill. And you're just laughing. And then you start just throwing it all over the room. Like, Braden, chill.
God,
like,
I'm
this
sorry.
is my room. Then you I've got a wooden boomerang. I'm going to just grab it.
A boomerang. Yeah, you claim I hit you with something.
I've got a boomerang. So I'm laying in my bed. And this is like a proper wooden...
Proper Aussie boomerang.
Aussie boomerang. You just launch it at my ankle.
Oh my God. At your ankle?
At my ankle.
Wow, I'm
I'm
sorry.
like, what the fuck? But you're just laughing. I'm like, it's cool. We were all a bit silly.
Oh my God.
And then you start flailing around. I'm like, right, Braden, chill. Watch the TV.
I'm not a small person.
Trav leaves and gets a bin, like a big, like bin from the kitchen.
Right.
And he's like, he's gonna puke.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I hadn't really clocked that yet.
Right.
Puts it by your feet. You're sat in my lazy boy right over there.
Yeah.
And you kick the bin across the room, and then vomit on my floor and my lazy boy. And then you laugh.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. And then, and Travis and I just go, do you want to go for a walk? And he's like, yeah. So we walk around the block. He grabs some floor cleaner and just throws it on the floor. We come back and there's just paper towel, like kitchen roll, everywhere. Covering the whole apartment. We're like, what the fuck? And you've locked yourself in your room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want, like, if he's vomiting, I don't want him to, like... Die, choke, or anything like that. So I'm like, we need you to open the door. I'm hearing you vomit in there. And we're like, we're gonna kick this door down if you don't open it up.
Right.
And you're like, nah. So Trav, he's a big guy, starts, like, shouldering it. And you're like, all right, I'm coming. Shout out to Trav. And
I sound like an asshole.
You were. I don't know why I was like so okay with it all. And then you open the door. It's like, and then you're banging. You're banging something. You said your head hurts.
Yeah, my head hurts.
I think you
today.
were being Goldberg and like headbutting things.
I think so too.
And
I got
then,
this new like painting thing outside our doors, and I think I headbutted it. It was a picture of Drake on the CN Tower.
It's head height.
Yeah, I think I headbutted it.
I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you what happened. I didn't eat all day, and then just came home and started drinking.
It was...
My dinner was a JB and Coke, so...
It was something else. I've never seen you like
Whiskey
that
does
before.
that to you.
It was very funny.
I was on one. I was genuinely on one. I was just wanted to have a good time.
So it was meant to be your turn to cook today.
Yeah.
But you weren't feeling good, and I was like, I'll take it.
I wasn't feeling
You said
good.
you wanted like chicken and veg, so I did a roast dinner. Went for a lovely walk today. Found a place right by us that does Schwartz Montreal smoked meat.
Nice.
Which I didn't think you could get in the city, and it's super close. So I had a lovely smoked meat sandwich. It was great.
Wow.
And then came back and cooked some dinner and watched some wrestling.
You know what? Shout out Davie Portman because you nursed me to health. You took care of me. You made sure I didn't die. You're everything I've ever wanted in a roommate, in a friend, in a podcast co-host. Because I guess I was ridiculous. I know we started drinking around maybe 8-9 p.m. And I know the last thing I had for dinner or to eat, sorry, was at noon. So if you learned anything from this podcast, don't drink on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
I don't think
Or
I've ever
just
been.
don't drink with Braden Herrington. Fuck me.
I don't know if I've been that silly.
I've never seen you like that.
Yeah, because you describe. I believe everything you say.
Because both of us, I feel, when we're like, neither of us are reckless.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
We'll get silly. We might just like fall asleep or be like, I'm going home. Or
we never like get in fights or
we never like get particularly aggressive or smash up things or it was something else. Mike Hogan in the YouTube chat room right now is saying that he's never regretted not answering a FaceTime call more in his life.
Yeah, that would have been a fun FaceTime. I tend to we tend to FaceTime people when we get lit too.
Yeah.
So I'm happy I didn't. As soon as you told me all this, my first thought was, oh no.
Who did I call?
Yeah, I need to go through my phone and see what I did, but I didn't because when I woke up, my phone was like somewhere else. So that's a good thing. Didn't do anything bad.
But you're feeling good now.
Well, you cooked me dinner. I went for a little walk, hung out with my friend Mary Jane, and I'm feeling a little bit better.
Good?
So I felt like that's what you need to do. You need to I should have ate a banana.
Bananas are good.
I just drank a lot of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. 1 minute I'm watching the G1, and I got so happy that Kota Ibushi finally did it the second time that I just started drinking and.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm never drinking again.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I don't think you should. But yeah, we did start off watching with the G1 because we are doing a brand new episode of Best Match Ever. You might be a bit G1'd out by this point. We get it. But we'll be releasing on the Patreon on Friday our episode of Best Match Ever where we're looking at this tournament of the G1. We'll be talking about our kind of top 5 matches. We'll be getting your feedback. Talking about our MVP of the tournament and just general G1 talk. So that's coming out on the Patreon, patreon.com/upNXT on Friday. But tomorrow, we have a free show coming out.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Best Match Ever G1. We just released on this free feed. You might have already seen it. You might have already listened to it. We did a Best Match Ever, the first ever Best Match Ever, last year for Hell in a Cell. We talk all about the Hell in a Cells. Well, we put that out for free. You can see on this free feed, Hell in a Cell is this Sunday. You're doing a watch-along for that as well. We're going to do a post-show. You're also doing a watch-along for Bound for Glory. And you're doing a show with Nate Milton. I don't know if I've ever been more excited for a podcast. I don't care about the actual show. I will not watch Impact Wrestling on Saturday. But I can't wait to hear you and Nate. That's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it'll be on the post feed, so not the upNXT feed, with Nate Milton this Saturday for Bound for Glory.
But what you were trying to say is we have a free show tomorrow.
We have a free show tomorrow as well, where we're talking all about Batman Returns.
Yeah.
John and Way are doing their Rocky thing right now.
Yeah.
We're doing the Batman thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's the tie-in to Rocky? The Penguin is Rocky's dude.
Isn't Danny DeVito one of Rocky's opponents? I've never seen them.
No, Rocky's trainer is the OG Penguin, who was supposed to be in the intro for Batman Returns, but was too sick at the time. So
was he going to be the dad?
He was going to be the dad.
His kid in the river.
Yeah. Jeez. So we started our Batman reviews with Tim Burton's Batman, and now we're talking all about Batman Returns. Michelle Pfeiffer in the Catwoman suit.
Michelle Pfeiffer, I want to wife her.
Yeah, need we say more? So that is out for free on this very feed as well. We
just released an episode of Shot in the Dark. John Cena, you can find that on patreon.com/upnext. You don't need to be a subscriber to us. You can just click on the link. John's talking about this week on Dark. There was it was 2 hours, 8 minutes long. Ridiculous.
Wow.
So that's why we have John Cena, who can break it all down into 15 minutes, as well as talking about 205 Live, NXT UK, all the things that you might want to know what happened, but can't be bothered to watch.
So he does it in a neat little package.
15 minutes, great show.
A shot in the dark for free. Shout out John Cena for doing all that, and for his podcast as well. It's spooky season. Listen to the Zombie Pod, because he's talking all about scary things all year round. We've been talking about some scary things as well. We did Frankenhooker as an Up Yours,
where a guy's wearing a Batman shirt in the film. It all comes back around.
Wow, it really does.
Starring Patty Mullen from
Clash of
Champions fame.
Yeah, we've been all over the place. Like we said, we got the Batman, we got the G1. We have so many shows, but if you want to listen to all the Patreon stuff, patreon.com/upnext for all the shows, $5 a month. Just $5 gets you access to every show we've ever done on that Patreon, including every Thursday UpNextra, where we talk about AEW, which we will be doing tomorrow. Wednesday nights, we talk about NXT, and we do it on this show. But I know AEW's got a pay-per-view coming around. We'll be doing a show on that down the line for Full Gear. But I know we are an NXT show, but just because it's kind of in the news, this whole Joey Janela being pulled from his match because he was hanging around some wrestlers that...
Well, he wrestled...
He wrestled someone. Yes.
Someone who tested positive at one of the GCW shows.
Yeah, which is... I just find it's, scary. Knowing... It's imagine you knew you were going to go into work tonight, and you know you're going to work with the people you always work with, and then, all this news is kind of coming out, and you're like, that's not cool. I know, I think AEW letting wrestlers work everywhere is fantastic, but maybe right now in a pandemic... they're going to maybe change their outlook on that.
It's difficult. So I was actually listening to the Talk is Jericho episode with Andrew Yang today, who's the politician. He's part of Biden's team, and he is a wrestling fan and doesn't like how WWE run things, the whole independent contractor thing. And it's fantastic that, as you said, AEW lets performers... Well, because they're independent contractors, so they can perform for other places and stuff. I don't know how much, Tony Khan can put his foot down with these performers, especially Janela, who's running these, he's one of the runners of GCW, right? And giving all these other people work during a pandemic.
Exactly.
I don't know how much you can put your foot down. It's such a tricky one, really, because... it's so easy to say, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing it. But, I mean, I'm someone who's this week lost one of my jobs, and I'm severely affected by work at my other job because of this pandemic. I don't know how easy it is to just be no, don't work. Because it doesn't just affect Janela, it's affecting
everyone, people
on that card and stuff as well. So it's a really tricky one, and all they can do really is just make sure, more testing, more protocols, which you watch some of those GCW shows and you do kind of question how safe it looks. But yeah, I do highly recommend that Andrew Yang interview, though, where he basically says that if Biden becomes president, he's going after WWE. He's going to make changes.
Oh, that's so weird.
Kind of cool. He's talking about how it really needs the networks to kind of be hey, you realize you're showing this show where the labor laws are kind of fucked and all this sort of stuff. So it's a really interesting podcast. It's about an hour long. I highly recommend listening to it. It's funny because it seems Jericho's only gripe is, and all my matches are on the network and I'm not getting residuals every time a match is played. Whereas there's obviously all these other issues like Twitch and the independent contractor status, but highly recommend that podcast. Give it a listen.
as soon as Biden becomes president, that's the first thing he's going to do.
First thing.
He's going to be like, all right.
Vince, what the fuck, man?
Well, I mean, joking aside, the Florida News was posting all this stuff about, they're looking into the WWE for not following proper, COVID protocol and all that stuff. So it is very interesting that like WWE is making news for not doing good things that well.
And they've also, the state of Florida are like investigating the PC, the Amway Center, and Full Sail for unsafe practices.
Joe Biden's going to come out and be like, guys, I made it. I'm president. First things first, retribution. You're done. Get out. It's not working. It's not working. It's over. Stop it. Wow, isn't it weird when wrestling seems to still be the like in a pandemic, wrestling continued on. I couldn't tell you how many people were like, "Oh, you love wrestling. It's the only thing on TV." Still, like when sports weren't back yet and stuff, right? So, yeah, we're still living in this.
I do find it interesting when people are sort of asking, and I say, wrestling aside, it's one of the most interesting times to cover it because of the fact that it's been continuing and all this.
Well, like I myself, we're in Canada and we're in Toronto, and like the numbers here, they're not terrible, but they're not they're around like 800 today or something like that. Like that's bad still. New cases every day. There's so many, but other places like are so much higher and stuff. And I myself, I'm like still trying to operate as everyone. Like, oh, I can't, I shouldn't go here. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't go there and stuff. But then they announced Wrestle Kingdom 2 nights, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll just, go over. I find myself like, wait, because it's wrestling, I'm like, maybe I'll go. I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm definitely not going. I'm like, just, I miss, obviously, going, I miss live music, and I miss, going to wrestling and stuff, but we're still in this, like, pandemic era of life, essentially, so I'm still kind of shook, is what I mean. I'm lax, but I'm still shook. You're over
I'm over it. Honestly, I've got to face it every day at work anyway. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in it. I'm dealing with people, hopefully. Otherwise, I'm not making fucking money this week.
Yeah.
And like, I'm very safe. I'm very strict as well with customers, and hence why I've had quite a few horrible people.
Yeah.
But you got to be. I want things to be safe, but I feel... For me, I feel we're getting to a point where a vaccine's not coming anytime soon.
Not right now.
And we got to learn how to continue with some sort of norm where you're not absolutely crippling people. And that's the thing. And unfortunately, you just got to respect each other. Wash your hands, wear your masks, keep physical distance, follow the rules, not being over capacity and stuff like that. And, like, get tested and avoid vulnerable people if you feel you've been in a compromised situation, that kind of thing. But I'm starting to think we can't hide at home forever.
It's true.
Like, people got to make money. People need to provide entertainment for your own mental health. Like, I've had a really shit week, and I'm not going into it, but this week is like a time in a normal year, I book myself a little weekend away. Like, I go see my friends in New York for a weekend or something like that. And I can't do that right now. And it's taking its toll. And I know a lot of people are feeling the same way. And the only way we're going to get to some sort of normality is if, we're fucking kind to each other and respectful and follow these stupidly simple rules, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting heated.
You're getting so mad about the COVID.
Yeah.
Just like that Okada shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees that just says, "Stop the COVID."
I messaged Scrump. I want it. Stop the COVID.
Yeah, stop the COVID, Okada, Rainmaker.
Shout out to WH Park, by the way, who's quarantining right now.
Yeah, he says he's in Toronto. I don't know. Looks like Vaughn. We're gonna have to have him on a show for sure. Invite him over to the BDE backyard. I know he wants to come hang out.
He wants to hang out. I can't wait.
Because there's been an ongoing little feud between me and WH Park. I've been salty towards WH Park because he never he came to Toronto. I asked him, "Can you bring me some strong zeros from Japan? And he said no. He said no. And he didn't bring them. He didn't. Did he give us a mug? He gave us a mug. He's like, one day you can drink a strong zero out of it. I was like, cool, thanks. Like, I just really wanted those drinks. So I was salty. He has now brought me.
I've seen.
Strong zeros.
I've seen, yeah.
So we're going to drink some strong zeros. Jessie from the 6 brought us some strong zeros.
He did.
WH couldn't. So he saw Jessie do that. And he knew now. Okay, I gotta get back in the good books. And he is. He's a man.
Now,
WH.
Unfortunately, WH will still be quarantining, but that doesn't mean that he can't join us for our Zoom Halloween Havoc in costume.
Yeah, that's true.
WH, get a costume delivered. I know you can't go outside.
I still need a costume.
We still need a costume. But yeah, our final plug before getting into NXT.
Sorry, we've been on one tonight.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Nothing happened tonight, really. Final plug, Halloween Havoc is next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Join us in the YouTube room and on Zoom. We'll be putting out all the Zoom information in costume.
Yes.
We're going to be all themed out in fancy dress, in costume for Halloween Havoc. And
how's this gonna go?
You will be too. And if you're not in costume, you're out of the room. We're kicking you out.
We're gonna give out the link. We'll tweet out the link. Give out the link somehow to all whatever things you guys use.
It's
Facebook.
Braden, I'll figure out. It's fine.
but then if you join in, you're not in a costume. You don't get to stay. You can hang out with us. We're gonna be doing a watch along for Halloween Havoc as well as the classic.
And then right into the post show.
Yeah.
So if you just want to join for the post show, it will probably be starting earlier next week because we'll kind of just roll right into it once NXT's finished. So join us just after 10 if you're not interested for the watch along, but you want to join us for the post.
I don't know what I went to 2 costume shops this week and I didn't buy anything. I don't know what I don't have hair on my head, so I can easily wear a wig, so I could be any wrestler. So like I don't know what I want to be, and people are saying that we should be Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, but you're like, you dress like him all the time anyway, so you don't want to.
Well, I just dye my hair blonde, and my hair's kind of too short right now. I just had it cut.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm leaning towards Tyler Breeze right now, former tag team champion Tyler Breeze. Which is actually good because I was gonna look and order the NXT tag titles. Now I don't need to.
Oh, great! Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Spoilers: Breezango lost tonight. We'll get there.
But yeah, Halloween Havoc next week, and join us for the costume Zoom and the watch along on the YouTube. YouTube.com/upNXT.
And you don't have to be wrestlers. You can be scary things. You can be Danny DeVito's Penguin.
If someone shows up as Danny DeVito as Penguin,
you win.
You win.
You win.
We say we have a contest.
You replace me. You can host the show.
No one can replace you.
I was thinking of replacing you last night.
just getting rid of me. Just get a whole new one.
Right. Shall we get into some NXT?
Yeah,
let's do
talk about NXT.
Shout out to NXT.
You're not going to let that go,
Never.
NXT from Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. And we start with a triple threat match. Why? Because everyone hates each other in this match, and it's happening. Velveteen Dream, Ciampa, and Kushida here starting the show. And as Dream makes his entrance right after Kushida, he is attacked by Tommaso Ciampa during the entrance. He just starts to beat him the hell up, and then Kushida's like, well, I want to fight too. So they all just start fighting, and the match like officially starts, but it's just kind of chaos. Ciampa's hitting flying knees everywhere, and he screams, "This is my house." He's a Page fan. He hits like all these running knees. They're in the ring. Kushida does like a cartwheel, but gets like dropped to his feet. Dream and Kushida both get hit by the Willow's Bell from Ciampa, but no cover is made there. Kushida goes for his like back handspring to both guys at one point, but gets caught, and then Dream hits him with the Dream Valley Driver. They go to commercial break, but when we come back, it's Kushida just working the arms. Dream is wrestling with this cast, so they're like attacking the arm and the injured arm, and Kushida's doing all sorts of crazy arm breakers, arm holds, and I don't know about you, but I love, we go off on our favorite wrestling moves a lot. Yours is the side Russian leg sweep. I love the Ushigoroshi. When Kushida does the hip toss into the like cross arm bar or arm breaker, it's chef's kiss. It is.
It's great.
Like, I could just watch a GIF of that on repeat. So, like, how does he even do that? It's amazing. Hip toss into the armbar, crazy, but it's not the end. Dream at one point hits the purple Rainmaker. He goes for a super kick almost to the ref, but then stops, hits the Dream Valley driver on Ciampa. Kushida, though, throws him out of the ring, throws Ciampa out of the ring, and then just starts to hit tope con heroes to both of them. Like, hits one to Dream, goes back in the ring, runs the other direction onto Ciampa a few times. Just awesome. He's like super fired up. It's like he goes into a next like level here.
The Conhilos?
Yeah, he's just going awesome. Nuts. And then it's Ciampa who gets hit by the cast from Velveteen Dream. Then he like falls into Kushida, who then like deadlifts Ciampa, German suplexes him with a bridge, and pins him. Kushida wins the triple threat. This new Kushida, I guess you could say, is such a fantastic character. To just watch him do his stuff is so fun.
Yes, I really think we need to get a strong singles feud for him and then move him into the title picture. I know you don't have a champion right now, but this Kushida's really working for me. I really like the new look. I really like just he's more intense and just he's rapid when he's wrestling right now. He wants to get it. He just wants to hurt people and get the job done. Yeah. And that's how he's wrestling, and I think it really, really works.
I just like the fact that he Kushida won on Back to the Future Day.
He did, yes.
Yeah. Great Scott.
Do you think Dream was in like camo pants?
Yeah.
He often does like themed costumes depending on the event or his opponent. Do you think he was doing this to like add a dig at Ciampa? Because they were very like Ciampa's old pants. Or if this is just his new look.
I don't know.
I don't know. But there was one point in the match that I thought looked really stupid, which was the draping DDT to Kushida, and Velveteen Dream was like holding on to him. So he got DDT'd as well.
Yeah.
Just let go, mate. Like, come on. But I thought the match was pretty good. I thought Kushida was the star of it. Ciampa for me is kind of just floating about in no man's land. Dream, I don't care for, and so it was kind of weird opener for me. I thought the work was good. I'm just ready to see Kushida move on to something bigger because he's ready for it.
I think so. I think
an actual main event run with Kushida would be something fresh that actually really helps NXT right now.
I think it could be. He's just been like the fact that he just had his first takeover match is crazy. Considering it's Kushida, the stuff he would have been doing over in Japan. He did like so much in New Japan. I loved his whole run in New Japan, and it's kind of like imagine maybe where he could have been if he didn't come here. And then it's like he's just been chilling. I know he's had some injuries and setbacks, but me as like a fan, I'm like, I just want to see you wrestle, and they didn't kind of let you do that until now. It seems,
Yeah.
Like I know he had a few matches. He had a good match with what was it, Walter? I think.
Yes.
About a year ago. Like he's just been there. They're like, okay, we'll put Kushida on the card and it'll be good. It's like they should because he's fantastic. I like this new turn that he's got. Like he's more aggressive. It's
definitely working. Chris Leone suggests that you have Gargano beat Priest next week, and then you can have a Kushida Gargano feud for the North American title. Love it. Great idea.
There you go. That's fantastic. So yeah, the triple threat was fun. I'm just kind of happy I got to see Kushida do that hip toss into the armbar thing. Undisputed Era are backstage, but not all of them. It's Kyle, it's Rod, it's Bob, and it's iPad Adam. I hate this. Just don't have him there. So it's them and an iPad stand, and he sounds like shit because it's the audio coming off of an iPad. I couldn't even tell you what he was saying because it's like, that's Undisputed, boys and girls. But then Kyle kind of steps in and he kind of takes the role, which I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't have had Adam here anyways. Just silly. Kyle says that tonight Roddy and Bobby Fish are gonna reclaim the titles, and then Fish says that Fandango and Tyler Breeze do not stand a chance, and Roddy adds that the titles come back to where they belong because it's the Rod and Bob Express.
Choo choo.
And that's Undisputed. It's Fish and Rod.
Fish and Rod.
Fish and Rod.
I actually liked the iPad thing. My issue was the audio. I don't know why they couldn't just sort that out somehow. Like, I'm sure there's a way to get the audio coming through clearer than this.
Remember when William Regal was doing it?
Yeah,
it was way better than this.
But I liked actually Adam Cole being there on the iPad, because they're trying to show that although all you people at home are talking about us being split, we're stronger together. Adam's not even here, but he is here with us. Do you know what I mean? And it's a funny visual. Like, Undisputed Era are kind of now in sort of tweener roles, moving more to baby faces, and this was a bit of comedy with Adam there on the iPad. I actually quite liked it, but I agree with you. The audio sucked.
Yeah.
Which is, it's unlike WWE, really.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to not have him because they didn't want you to assume he was
part
of a storyline
attacking or whatever. Yeah.
But still, just like I don't know why he wasn't there, but he should have been in that instance. But it was just weird. It was just it was lame. It was just lame. iPad things. Like, stop it. Just stop it. We have some match announcements, including the women's title match, Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal, next week. Gargano, Priest, Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal. And a haunted House of Horrors? Treehouse of Horror? What's this match? They announced that it's Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis.
In a haunted House of Terror.
Haunted House of Terror.
So not only is it haunted, but it's of terror as well.
Holy shit, that sounds...
Shout out to haunted houses.
I'm kind of interested in seeing this.
I imagine this is going to be some kind of cinematic match.
I'm down.
Maybe we've had the House of Horrors before.
Yeah.
Maybe something similar to that. I think you're picking the right people here. I actually think Dexter Lumis would be great in those kind of cinematic matches. And Cameron Grimes is so comedic. I think this could actually be really fun.
I think so too. I'm excited for this. It should be silly and it should be fun. I want to see Dexter Lumis kind of recreate different horror movie spots. Essentially, I think is what
that'd be cool.
I think that's what
I'd love that,
because he's kind of been doing that when he like just appears and stuff. Like he's doing classic. He's just Michael Myers. He's just chilling in the back, always watching. We have a video package for Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez, who are gonna also have a match next week. And it's basically showing Ripley and Gonzalez, a little feud they've kind of had, but it's the biggest, the baddest. That's what they're going with.
Yes.
We have our next match, my favorite. Jessie Kamea going one-on-one against Ember Moon. She drove for miles and miles and miles to get here tonight, and she's going to face Jessie Kamea. Jessie instantly does this move, and it baffles me. It's like not a drop down like the drop downs you normally do. It's like she just does the splits, and then Ember's supposed to be like, whoa, oh. I didn't understand it.
Oh, I've got a lot to say about this.
Okay, got you. All right. Ember Moon, there is a cool spot, I will say. Jessie Kamea goes to snap mirror Ember, and Ember just lands on her feet and is like, I can do this all day. There's then a stomp and some kicks from Ember Moon. Ember Moon hits a standing moonsault, so I guess it's the Ember Moonsault.
Oh, I like
right?
it.
Yeah.
That works.
She's like, it's in my name. I should do a moonsault.
True.
Do a double moon. She's definitely showing her more vicious side here. She has this like ankle lock type submission single leg thing.
It's like a kind of modified half Boston crab with the ankle like hook. It looked kind of cool.
Yeah, it looked really cool. There's then Kamea hits some sort of elbow drop here, but Ember hits this jumping code breaker and then this new submission, which is like a leg trap. Then like into like a camel clutch, almost like a surfboard into that, and Jessie taps out, and Ember Moon is victorious here. And then I'll just say after the match, Dakota Kai attacks Ember Moon and kind of walks off, being like, "Don't forget about me. You think you can come back here and it's all gravy? Nah, you gotta because Ember Moon said she's gonna go through. She name dropped Dakota, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, what do you think about this?
There were so many things wrong with this match. I criticized Ember Moon the other week. It's the issue I've always had with her, that she kind of like feels like a cosplayer. She has a cool entrance, but then it never marries with her wrestling at all. She came out and cut a very smiley promo the other week. Jessie Kamea, like, actual ability aside, kayfabe-wise, is bottom rung of NXT.
She wasn't even in the Battle Royal.
Yeah,
kayfabe-wise,
she's the bottom rung. She's one of the newer people.
Newer?
No, on TV. On
Sure.
TV.
Okay.
Ember Moon is a former NXT champion. Ember's being a dick to her at the beginning of this match. Kamea's not necessarily a heel, really. She's just this, like, person who's way out of Ember's league. And Ember's just playing this dick. She's patting her on the head. She's being really patronizing. And then I did like the vicious side of her, but it wasn't like, you know, when we saw Kushida snap and it made sense. It was like, why is she being such a dick to Jessie Kamea here? And then any offense Kamea had wasn't even Kamea. It was Ember Moon, like, running into the turnbuckle. Like, it was Jessie moving out the way and Ember just running into things. It was baffling to me. I didn't get this at all. I think Ember Moon is fantastic. She had some really cool looking moves and could potentially be really interesting in this women's division, but it's all character stuff just isn't working. She was a heel here.
She's supposed to be she's supposed to be a babyface, and then Dakota, who is a heel, attacked her, so it does make her the babyface. But it's like, well, why are you being a heel then? It's the same way we had the same issue with Rhea Ripley. She's always like a bully, and it's like, well, aren't you supposed to be the good guy?
If Kamea kind of cut a promo at the beginning, like just a little backstage thing, or even an insert thing on her entrance, being like, oh, well, Ember Moon hasn't wrestled for so many months and is rusty, and I'm the new kid on the block here, and I'm going to just give something for a reason for Ember to be a dick to her.
Yeah, I didn't.
It didn't make sense to me. And Kamea, I've tried defending her in the past, saying that she's improved and stuff. She looked very bad here.
Remember when her gimmick was she botches?
Yeah.
It's like that's still her gimmick.
She had a few botches here, and like, I really want to watch people improve, and that's why when I see someone like Aaliyah put on a good match, I like kind of going out my way to say it, because she's someone who's we kind of shat on a lot, and I don't want to see people be bad. I don't particularly have enjoyment on like criticizing people, but she was not good here. She was put in about 3 different submissions in this match. You wouldn't know it. She wasn't selling at all. She looked like she'd like ripped her nail or something, like an inconvenience that she was put in these holds.
Jessie Kamea versus Xia Li, book it.
Oh yeah, pretty much. You're not wrong.
I've been hating on Jessie Kamea for a while, but I'm like, I want you to do good. I want you to see to improve.
And then absolutely.
And then I watch this and I'm like,
we don't want to watch bad wrestling.
Yeah, I'm like, but we're gonna go in the direction of Ember Moon and Dakota.
Which sounds good.
We had the tag match, right, where she hit her with the Eclipse. So like that'll be a.
I think that will be a good feud. Before it sounds like Ember wants to kind of work her way through the division before getting to the title, and
she had to start at Jessie.
Yeah, a Dakota Kai match does sound really good.
Yeah, that sounds like a good match. We go to our next match, which is Austin Theory.
Well, first we hear there's commotion backstage.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. How could I? Yeah, there's something going on backstage, and they tell us that. Well, they show us that someone has attacked Bobby Fish. He's been attacked. Who has attacked Bobby? He's taken out of this match. So when we go to our next match, the commentary throw to Mackenzie Mitchell, who sends in this like audio blip during this match, which I hate during matches, but like they're updating you, I guess, on the story. And she says that Bobby Fish has been taken out of the arena here because he's going to a local medical facility and hospital, and he's not going to be wrestling this match. But Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong will now face the tag champions.
Kyle's been cleared.
Yeah, Kyle's cleared. Yeah. So they're like, hey, you're going to wrestle tonight. So we're hearing all this news during this match, which is Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. It's Theory trying to get some offense, trying to chop the big man down every time he can get an opportunity to, but Reed doesn't allow it. He beats down on Theory. They fight on the top rope forever, but it's Reed who just hits the splash, the tsunami splash, and pins Austin Theory. Light work, but after the match, Theory grabs a microphone as Reed walks up the entrance ramp, and Theory says, hey, Reed, I'm young. I'm 23, and I've already done more in this business than your 15 years stupid career. I'm not going away. I'm not leaving until I beat you. So come on down here and fight me. So he's like, all right, mate. And he goes down, and Theory tries to beat him down. A referee gets in there. They ring the bell. It's a rematch of the match that just happened, but it ends very quickly as Bronson Reed gets to his feet. Theory runs at him. Bronson pops him up in the air, catches him with a Samoan drop, flattening him, and pins him. Shout out this pop-up Samoan drop, because this Samoan...
Oh, it looked nasty.
This
like
is
he
sick.
Crushed his arm.
Remember Umaga used to do a pop-up?
Yeah.
I love a good pop-up into a move, but a pop-up Samoan drop here, this looked like it hurt and looked great. And he pins him just like that and walks out. So Austin Theory lost twice tonight.
Yes, and extending his losing streak that they kind of brought up on commentary. I thought for what this was pretty good. Kind of Bronson Reed, I feel like we haven't seen for a few weeks, and just re-establishing him with an easy squash against Theory, who's losing a lot, but he's pretty strong with his character, I think. You want to see him get beaten up, right?
Yeah.
So I think this was kind of a good move. Bronson's looking more and more of a star every week, and I think he's someone that really freshens up NXT for me. I think maybe he's had this before, but this felt like new music, or they've added like lyrics to the music.
Yeah.
It sounded really good, I thought, and kind of it's got this sort of disaster. Talking of Hans Zimmer, it's got that Hans Zimmer noise with this kind of like rapping on top. I really liked it. It really works for him. His entrance is sick.
I love Bronson.
I want to see this guy start moving up, and I think this match was kind of re-establishing him for the audience. This worked for me, this segment.
Yeah, he's been missing for a little while. But yeah, I want to see Bronson Reed get more of a push here. I like watching him wrestle. I want to see more of his wrestling, you know what I mean? Like, they've put now a lot into this character, new music and all that stuff, but what fascinates me about this guy is I think he can go, and he's been held back, whereas I want to see him have some killer matches.
I think the thing is with NXT, there's only so many people you can do things with. So often they have, like Kushida's been sitting in the background for a year before he's finally getting his turn.
Yeah.
And that's why I do kind of like the 5-match structure for TakeOver, because you end up having these guys who aren't really doing anything, but you're not killing them like they would be on Raw or SmackDown.
I mean, I don't know. Do you see Keith Lee on Raw?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can... In NXT, they never damage someone's credibility enough that if you want to put the rocket on Bronson Reed, you're not going, oh, but he had that stupid dancing gimmick for the last year. Like, it's the same with Kushida. Like, they didn't do enough to damage Kushida. Sure, he should have been on TV more. Yeah. But you want to strap the rocket to Kushida now, it's believable. And that's why I think where NXT works, I think, for me.
Well, I want to see more Bronson Reed.
Absolutely.
Well, we won't see more of Austin Theory, because during the commercial, I'm going to just go to this and then continue on. But during the commercial, they show Austin Theory leaving the venue with his bag, and they're like, hey, what's going on? What happened tonight? And he goes, that's it. I'm done. I quit. He gets in his car and he drives away. Didn't even put a shirt on, nothing. Just drove away.
It's hot in Florida.
Yeah, true, yeah. So Austin Theory quits NXT. Is he
done?
What does this mean? Does he go to NXT Evolve? Since he was Mr. Evolve. Does he join Robert Stone? That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought Robert Stone was going to approach him here.
I'm going to tell you where I think he will go later on tonight.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. We have Xia Li backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell and Casey Catanzaro. And Xia Li says, I have to win this match. I need this match. And Casey's like, all right, chill. Jeez, thought we were friends, but may the best woman win. And Zia's like, tonight's the biggest match of my career. I have to win. I have to. I think she has to win this match.
Someone needs to check up on this girl.
Is she okay?
I'm really worried.
Well, Boa wasn't with her. Boa wasn't here.
Which makes it even scarier.
Yeah,
I think. Where was he?
Yeah, what was he doing?
Someone check on Zia's family, please.
So you think that he gave her an envelope, and she's shook now and scared that she has to win. So you think that what did we came up with? Like maybe he's got her family kidnapped.
It's like every match you lose, sister's dead, grandma bye.
It's weird. It's so weird. Like we're making these ridiculous jokes, but the angle, whatever it may be, I guess they're going in the direction is she just wants to win. She needs to win.
Like honestly, if it is that she's in kind of mortal peril,
yeah,
she's playing it really well.
Okay,
especially when you consider like English is her second language. I think her acting here is great. If she's just been instructed that she really wants to win this match, maybe it's a bit over the top, but we'll see where it goes. I'm just really worried for Xia Li.
You're worried kayfabe wise. We're like, yo, what's going on? What's, you know, because like in real life, she's like fine. She's braiding her hair like Lance Archer. She's cooking. She's killing it. But kayfabe, I'm scared for her character.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
She's spicy. We have that match coming up later tonight. Casey versus Xia Li. She needs to win, guys. She needs to. We go to our next match, though. It is Legado del Fantasma versus Isaiah Swerve Scott, Ashante the Adonis, and Jake Atlas. Did you see this video they put out on there? Was it like their Twitter or something? I'm kind of shocked they didn't air it tonight, where it's kind of just showcasing a little bit of Jake Atlas, a little bit behind him.
Okay.
I think they should have aired it on TV.
Right.
Really good stuff. So this is all these are your 205 livers right here. They're all doing all sorts of flippy stuff. Early on, you have Swerve do the almost like the ricochet thing where he flips himself landing on his feet onto the outside to go face to face as this match starts off, and all 6 guys are just brawling.
Yeah, I actually really like the opening of this match. It was kind of with Legado del Fantasma kind of doing the shield thing, surrounding it. And Swerve's like, fuck this, you're not intimidating me.
Yeah.
Flipping over. And then it was just a really hot start to the match. You then had the other 4 brawling inside and Swerve brawling on the outside with Santos.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was like the minions of the main feud is still these two.
Yeah,
which he beat him, but it's like yeah. We have Wade Barrett on commentary mentioning that Ashante Adonis was in the army, and it's like he wasn't scared of anything. There's nothing in NXT.
He's 19 and he fought in Afghanistan.
That's
crazy.
Wow, insane. We have Jake Atlas who hits the 3 Amigos on Joaquin Wilde here.
Shout out Eddie Guerrero.
Yep. I love when then commentary's like, it's like his favorite wrestler, Eddie Guerrero. It's like, yo, everyone's favorite wrestler is Eddie Guerrero because everyone does everything he used to do.
Everyone does that. Everyone does the frog splash.
Yeah, but I love Eddie.
Ricochet was doing the belt spot on the other day.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, look, Eddie was the GOAT, but it's just he's doing the 3 Amigos like his favorite wrestler. I'm like, yeah, everyone does though. Yeah. So Jake Atlas does the 3 Amigos. It's only a 2 count. I will say Atlas is crazy here with these rope jumping thing. He does an arm hold where he then stands on the ropes and then drops down on the ropes and then jumps back up. Balance of this guy is insane. He then does this spinning. He takes out all 3 guys on the team with this move here: head scissors, an arm drag, and a kick, all simultaneously. Fantastic. Ashante's in. He fakes them out for a dive, and then Swerve goes up top with this crazy corkscrew con hero. I don't even know what this was.
I also really like this spot because I think so often you watch and any dive looks cool, but it's always the waiting, the people on the outside. It's like, why are you waiting for that? So Ashante fakes it out, and it's like, haha, no, you think I'm gonna dive? So they're distracted with him and don't see Swerve on the top rope. Who hit some crazy corkscrew senton
It was nuts.
Thing. Looked awesome.
I don't know what it was, but it was great. When they come back from commercial break, we have the heels beaten down on Adonis, tagging in and out, keeping him in their corner. Santos hits the running double knees into the corner. But finally, Adonis, hot tag to Atlas, who comes in. He cleans house. He's firing up all these crazy moves. There's German suplexes. There's everything. Swerve is in now. He hits a flatliner. Then there's this crazy spot where all the guys are on the outside. And I think it's Wild, or is it Mendoza maybe, runs at Atlas, who's on the apron. And he stops the guy from running, hitting a tope or a con hero or something.
It was Was it
It's
Wild or
insane.
Mendoza? I think they were going for a suicide dive to the people on the outside, but Atlas kind of hopped onto the apron.
Catches him with a Spanish fly off the apron onto everybody. The way he, like, because he's backflipping. He's essentially doing a moonsault.
Yeah.
This was kind of scary. He looked fine, but this could have went really wrong. This looked really terrifying. This reminded me of like Naito and Ibushi on the apron a few years ago, like all the time. This was scary.
Yeah,
but
this looked awesome.
It looked awesome.
I thought it was so cool.
He pulled it off, but I was taken aback. They showed the replay, and I'm like, oh boy, maybe don't do that one again. Looks insane. But now there's Swerve, who's in the ring with Raul. He hits the JML driver, but it's broken up from Wild. We have Santos. He hits his flying headbutt to the outside onto Swerve. But as he does this, Jake Atlas does the cartwheel on the announce table, then spikes Santos with
the
a DDT.
rainbow DDT.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh man, this looked so awesome. And then in the ring, though, while this is all going down, it's the Legado del Fantasma, Wild and Mendoza, who hit the side Russian leg sweep, like Gamengiri kick combo, and pick up the win over Adonis here. So Legado del Fantasma get the victory over these three guys that have been the thorns in their side. But it's the story, I'd say, is Atlas brought it to Santos, so there's something you could go in that direction.
This was my match of the night. I thought
so
there were
too.
some really cool spots. I think Legado del Fantasma are really coming in their own, like, as a unit. I really enjoyed some of their, aside from all the crazy spot, just some of their heel work with grinding down. I think it was Adonis they just had for forever, just locked in submissions and stuff. I thought it was great. My criticism is I don't know about you, the camera work seemed all over the place in this match.
It's too fast.
They were cutting around so much, and a lot of it was like shaky cam as well, like a lower angle. And they seemed to cut away from, after the Rainbow DDT on the outside, I felt like the finish happened too quick and they cut away to it too quick, because you can hear, like, off camera, Jake Atlas, like, yelling at Santos, going, like, I'm going to be the next champion. So it seems like that's the direction they're going, but really that should be caught on camera if you're gonna, if that's the next, if you're moving away from Swerve and you're moving Jake Atlas to Escobar, you should really focus on that. The camera work I found quite dizzying in this match, but I thought this was my match of the night. It
had some really creative stuff from all of these guys. I'm impressed with everyone, like, in this match. But I definitely want to see Jake versus Santos in, like, the main cruiser.
Apparently Escobar said on Twitter that Jake got his attention tonight, so it looks like that is the direction they're gonna go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Book it. We go to the Garganos. Yeah. Remember when NXT used to have dinner? Not steak dinners, just chicken Caesar salad.
Chicken Caesar salad, no croutons.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the steak dinner, though. We're at the Garganos, and it's Johnny in the tracksuits. They have the new Power Couple t-shirts, but they don't have the tracksuits. That would have instantly been the Halloween costume for us next week, but yeah. Johnny is like, why are we doing this? And the camera pans out. They're sitting at their table, and it's Candice who has a training wheel. Next week, they got to spin the wheel and make a deal. So tonight, it's a training wheel. And she got all the match types on the wheel, and they're going to practice spinning it. But he's like, everybody knows that Johnny Gargano hates wheels. I don't know what his gripe is against. How does he get to work every day?
I don't know.
He doesn't fly. He uses wheels. He drives.
Yeah, probably.
So
Unless he walks.
What is the purpose of hating wheels? Like, why does he hate them?
I don't know.
Yeah. She says, you want to leave it to chance? No, you got to get good at spinning so you know what you can do. She's not wrong. She's like, hey, you could get choose the match, essentially. She's like, if we learn how to spin, then you could pick whatever. He's like, all right. So he gives it a shot. He spins the training wheel, and it spins, and it lands on a buried alive match.
Yes.
And he's like, what? I'm going to be buried alive. Great. Wow. Great. Yeah. She's like, Oh, man,
He goes, they're going to pull dirt on me. I'm alive, man.
I'm alive. You can't do that. I'm going to be buried alive. He's like, oh, it's like what are the chances? 1 in a million chances I get buried alive. Well, she's like, actually, it's 1 in 12. But okay. So she spins the wheel for her now, and it's a trick or street fight. She's like, oh yeah, everyone knows I'm undefeated in street fights. Oh yeah, everyone knows that. Yeah.
Has she had a street fight in NXT? Technically, she's not wrong then, I guess.
She's also 0-3 against Io. Just saying. So she says
0-2.
I swear they had another TV match a time ago.
I think they've only had the 2.
So she says she's going to be beating Io Shirai in a trick or street fight. These are not the match types. So she convinces Johnny to give it another shot, to spin the wheel. So he does. He spins the wheel again, and it lands on casket match. Johnny says, why does this wheel want me dead? And then, get rid of it. He storms off. I'm going to bed. Get rid of that thing. And he goes to sleep. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And she's like, oh, man. So, yeah, the Garganos do some weird things in their house. Like, what? She made a fake wheel.
There was a line I quite liked from Johnny here, where he goes to spin again, and he's like rooting for coal miner's glove match. He's like, just give me coal miner's glove match. I want a coal miner's glove.
What is a coal miner's glove match? What's a coal miner's glove? Is like what is that? I don't even know.
It was a WCW.
Yeah, I know. I've watched one before, but I'm blanking on it now. Very, very interesting. I love Johnny in this over the top acting, but holy shit, it's like I want them both to win next week.
I think they have to. Otherwise, they've got to move somewhere else because it's running its course now for me.
Yeah, I think they need to win. I think the power couple needs to be the power couple.
I like the idea of Gargano and Kushida. So, yeah, go that way.
Yeah, there you go. The chat saying it's like a brass knucks, but the glove. It's like a steel-lined glove. Yeah, sounds great. Let's have that.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be the match.
We have Drake Maverick and Killian Dane backstage getting ready for their match right now. They're coming to the ring, and he's got like this like dance. He's practicing his entrance, and Dane's like, cut that shit out. Stop that. But the match is happening now, and they're facing Ever-Rise.
Everyone's favorite tag team.
This is the highest feud in NXT. Ever-Rise versus Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. So Drake tries to do his dance and gets cut off by Dane. He's like, cut this music out. I don't know if you saw Drake's tweet the other day where he posted the theme song over like the meme of these guys in their like kitchen losing it, like rocking out, and it's to the theme. It's so funny. Go on his Twitter, Drake Maverick. So Ever-Rise and Drake Maverick, Killian Dane. Drake starts off, but Chase Parker, I tried to write their names down, I swear. I still don't know their names. Matt
Martel and Chase.
Marcel Bartel?
Marcel Bartel.
Chase Parker beats down on Drake. They're tagging in and out, but finally Dane tags in. He's beating them both up, hits the divide on Parker. But then they take him out of the match, and then Drake is on the outside, and they're like bullying him and talking shit. They're like, you're a loser. And you see him? He's a loser too, just like you. And that's your only friend. And your only friend is a loser. And this sets Drake Maverick off. You can say anything you want to him, but don't make fun of his friend, his only friend. Drake Maverick hulks up. He no-sells everything. That's my friend. He grabs a chair, smacks it across the back of the one guy, goes into the ring, and then smacks the other one up, chases them off, and he's all fired up. But then it's a DQ. Therefore, Ever-Rise has beaten Drake and Dane, and he's like, his face is like, oh shit, I costed us the match. Killian Dane gets to his feet, and Drake thinks Dane is gonna tear him apart. He goes over to him slowly. That was awesome. Where's that guy been? And all of a sudden,
roughly slaps him across the chest. And
he's like, "Holy shit! You kicked their asses. This is amazing." And Drake's like, "Huh? Oh, okay." So then they celebrate, and then Drake gets to do the dance. Why did I like this?
I'm enjoying these two. Hey, we say you've got to have like lower card stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's entertaining. And this is it. This is entertaining me. I kind of wouldn't be totally against these guys themselves being on a losing streak from DQs.
Oh my God.
Where it's just Drake Maverick hulks up and grabs a kendo stick or whatever and just like kills everyone.
Yeah. It's the Furry and the Fury, and he's the Fury.
He's the Fury.
Yeah, he is the Fury.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, so obviously I think they're going to get a rematch against Everrise, but now we're going to... He wants to get the best out of Drake Maverick.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Drake Maverick is going to work on Dane, like work on your entrance, your dance. Don't skip the whistling in the theme song because everyone knows it's a lit theme.
Is Dane going to cut his hair and dye it blonde? That's
Oh
what I
my
wanna know.
God.
Start fake tanning?
Oh my God.
Wax and tan?
Yeah.
Oh, we can have some fun segments with these two. Come on.
Yeah, screw Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
With their waxing. How about some waxing of Killian Dane?
Wax tan.
Oh, I can't believe we're asking for this.
I want it.
Yeah, it was some wholesome, great content. We go to backstage, and someone else has been attacked. Roderick Strong is left laying here, and they're taking him to a medical facility. William Regal's here. All these tag teams are here, and they're like, what do? We have a main event, and two of our wrestlers are taken out. So Regal's pretty much like, hey Kyle, do you want to just wrestle this on your own? And he's like, no. And he says, I'm going to the hospital. He says hospital.
So they offer one of Burch or Lorcan to take Roddy's place.
Yeah.
But he's like, nope, need to be with my boys.
Yeah, he's
with my
saying,
brothers.
I'm not going to wrestle in this match. You guys can have the match. He offers the tag title opportunity to Danny and Oney. He's like, you guys do it. And
I've held this like twice already. I'm good.
I don't need this. You guys need it. My boys are in the hospital. I like the camaraderie. Kyle was like you and me last night. He's like, no. I got to take care of my boy. My boys are hurting. Gotta take care.
I just went for a walk. I just left you.
You just left me when I was really drunk. So William Regal's like, fine. Well, that's the match tonight. Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan challenging Fandango and Tyler Breeze for the tag team titles tonight. Wow. We go to our next match.
Main event. My main event.
Oh, this is your main event. Yeah, you were waiting for this. The suspense is in the air. Casey Catanzaro versus Xia Li. Oh boy. Xia Li is being very aggressive here early on because she's fighting for her life, we think. We're not sure. She just really needs to win this match, okay? But Casey comes back with some strikes. It's kind of looking like Shane O'Mac here.
Oh, yeah. Casey had these, like fists to the midsection of Xia Li, and it was just flailing around. Looked really bad. Just eliminate them from your game.
Xia Li is pissed off. She's trying to beat up Casey here. There's some flipping leg drop move from Casey here. Not sure what it was. But the finish comes early with Casey hitting a quesadora. I guess it could be the Casey-adora. The roll up there. And pins Xia Li. Yeah, Xia Li needed to win this match, but she didn't. She's super pissed off and attacks Casey after the match. Kaden Carter gets into the ring.
She goes, I should have won.
I should have won.
Well, you didn't.
You should have, but you didn't. So she kicks Carter away.
Is Kaden Carter a wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay, because she just got like
one kick
shoved and was out.
Yeah.
Xia Li can't beat Casey Catanzaro in a match that she must win, but Kaden Carter just runs in and gets like
knocked out
for
no reason
with a kick to the hip.
So Xia Li is like beating up Casey, but then out of nowhere Raquel Gonzalez shows up and beats up her. She then picks up Casey and does her like one-handed Texas power bomb, tornado bomb. Looks awesome. Looks great, especially the size difference.
She throws Casey at. She throws Xia at Kaden, and then hits the
Kaden with the power
and then
bomb.
hits the tornado bomb.
The move looks great. She has a microphone and she says, "Ripley, next week, Halloween Havoc, I'm gonna show you that I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm badder." And I think she says that she is the La Diabla of your nightmare. So next week, it's gonna be the biggest, the baddest going at it.
I like the beatdown, and I thought she sounded like pretty good with her delivery on this promo. Like, it wasn't a long promo, but I thought she sounded believable here. I quite like this.
Okay, so we're missing the bigger picture here. What's going on with Xia Li?
I don't know. Okay, someone needs to check on Xia, her family, and someone check on Boa as well. I don't trust that guy.
You don't trust that, but well, he wasn't even here.
No.
He just gives her an envelope. He's like, "You better win," and she's like, "Fuck, I want to know what happens."
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we need to know. This is like some Days of Our Lives shit. This is some soap opera shit. We need to know what's going on with the story of Xia Li. Chris Leone in the chat says Xia Li was told she had to join Retribution if she lost. That's why she did not want to win. Maybe she would make Retribution good. We go to Cameron Grimes backstage with Mackenzie, and he's all cheery because he's got his match with Dexter Lumis. He's like, I knew I was going to get a match with him because I stomped him there. I stomped him there. I stomped him everywhere. I just hit him with that cave-in, and it doesn't matter. I'll do it again. And Mackenzie mentions that there's been a gimmick added to this. There's a stipulation, and he was not told that it is the Haunted House of Terror match. And now his tone changes. He's, what do you mean, House of Terror? And she's kind of filling him in. But as this is happening, there's a glass door behind them, and Dexter Lumis is just chilling, watching this whole thing. And Cameron Grimes, he's all timid now and all toned down, and he's like, Cameron Grimes ain't afraid. What could I be scared of? I'm going to the moon.
Cameron Grimes is great here. Just really, he's really cartoony, but really good at it. His change from being super excited to terrified was good, and I love how he full names Mackenzie Mitchell all the time. I don't know if you've noticed in his promos, he's always like, yeah, what have I got to be afraid of, Mackenzie Mitchell? And he's done it in his promos before. It's just a little thing that I think's kind of funny and endearing to him. He's great. I'm excited for this match, to be honest. I want to know what it's going to be.
Sorry, Xia Li has tweeted.
Oh, you've got Xia Li update? Okay.
I mean, it's not much of an update. She just quoted them promoting their match about how she has to win, and then she just tweets, I have to. What? What does that mean?
I'm gonna message
she
her.
has to? You're going to DM her?
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes still has not answered my DMs from last week. I can't believe Xia Li has to. That's what she has tweeted. I don't understand what it means, but she has to win. I'm excited about this. We go to a video package of Io Shirai, and it's showing the spinning the wheel, and it shows the different match types. And Io Shirai somewhere scary. She's always somewhere scary. Always what like filters, scary filters. She's always got the scary stuff. And every time the match lands on a stipulation that's on it, it shows clips of past WWE matches that have had that stipulation. So you see like Brock and Taker and all these like street fight stuff, and every time it lands on a stipulation, Io says like trick or street fight, Io Shirai beats Candice. House of Horrors, Io Shirai beats Candice. Inferno match,
I lose to Candice. Yeah.
She just basically says, easy, Tommy.
It's fine.
I beat Candice.
I win everything.
And I'm going to beat her again, and I'm going to retain the title. This video is actually pretty cool. It was like spooky and all scary for Halloween Havoc next week. The YouTube chat is saying, everyone go tweet Xia Li. Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's like Britney Spears. Wear yellow if you're in trouble. And then she just wears yellow on her Instagram. Everyone go tweet Xia Li. Hey, you good? You good, fam? You all right? We go to Timothy Thatcher. School of Thatch Can. But this time...
Thatcher's Thatch Can.
Sorry. Yeah. Thatcher's Thatch Can. But this time it's in the ring. He's doing this like live, essentially. And he's got someone there to demonstrate his school. And it's...
Anthony Green.
Yeah, Retro. Yeah.
From Evolve.
Yeah. So Thatcher says today he's going to talk about success, and he's going to show you some things on how to get to that. And he says, sorry, what's your name? And he says Anthony, and he's like, cool, thanks, Andrew, or something like that. He keeps getting his name wrong, and then the crowd starts to chant Andrew.
It was funny though, because I almost thought that the crowd just assumed like only picked up on Andrew because it was only a handful of people. They're going, Andrew.
I hope they were doing it like as a rib. I hope. They did let fans in, by the way. It showed some like kids and stuff in the crowd.
I think it's friends and family.
Okay, that would check out. So he now teaches Anthony here how to do some of these moves, these holds. I swear he just keeps applying the same shit. I'm so bored of this, but it's way better in the ring. I didn't like the video versions. This makes more sense. He is teaching him some moves. He does like this arm hold, and he's talking to us. It's like he is teaching a class. It's like a video you would buy on how to learn self-defense or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, and all the pressure from me and all the pain for him. And then he like adds more force. The guy's tapping, but he's not letting go. So he finally lets it go.
I found this pretty funny because like the hold is in and Green's clearly tapping. He's like, but then just ignoring. But then if you want to add more pain, what you got to do is yank back. And he's like, ah!
And he's just screaming in pain. So he lets him go. And then he's like, well, since you can't take me down, why don't you take my wrist instead? So Anthony's like, and takes him down to the ground and gets...
So he grabs his ankle instead of the wrist. He's like, fuck you, I'm not doing what you're saying.
And he puts him in this like guillotine headlock choke hold type thing. And finally Thatcher gets out of it. And he's like, huh, you're a tough man, Andrew, aren't you? Get a referee in here. Let's get a match. Let's go. Let's have a match. Let's have an exhibition. But before this could even start, he sucker punches him with a forearm to the head and just starts to fuck him up. Puts him in this like single leg hold. And Anthony Green is just tapping out. And now I think this leads to a match between the two, is what I would imagine, like next week.
I think this was the match.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I'm pleased it's kind of graduated into the ring now. I actually quite enjoyed this. I thought Thatcher was pretty funny. And it's little touches that he was doing, which I really liked. As he's holding, like, applying it, it's almost like Neil Buchanan doing Art Attack. Like how he's describing it, but he's looking up at there's like a higher camera that he's like talking to. It was just little touches like that made it feel more like an instructional video.
You want to watch Art Attack after?
Oh yeah.
Shout out Neil. What's his name?
Neil Buchanan. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this, and I thought Anthony Green played his role as Andrew pretty well.
Yeah.
Just looking clearly like pissed off at being humiliated here. I don't know where it goes. I imagine we're going to get a couple more of these in-ring segments and then build to a proper challenger. But I don't see where Thatcher's going next. But I thought this was all right.
I'll tell you where Thatcher's going next. We'll talk about that after we talk about the main event.
Oh, okay.
We have a video of Damien Priest, and he's getting a tattoo. Well, basically cutting a promo, but it's a video cutting back and forth with his feud going on with Johnny. He says, Johnny... win or lose, I move on. That's something you can't do. You're wondering what's happened to the Johnny wrestling of NXT. Well, Johnny, you're good. But what's changed is now I'm here. And a wheel decides our match. And it doesn't matter what it is. All these stipulations. I can take the pain. Can you?
Because I have tattoos.
I got tattoos.
And you don't have any, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like when a wrestler's... We talk about on Was Next with Corey Graves, and his gimmick is I have tattoos.
Yeah.
And they're very meaningful. Here, he's literally cutting a promo while getting tatted up. I liked it. It was cool. He's also rocking a Billy Idol shirt.
No, this worked better because, it's for me, it's super lame when someone's like, oh, my tattoos have a story, and it shows I endure pain.
Yeah, it's like... What?
This was like, Damien Priest was going to get tatted up, and someone was like, hey... what are your thoughts about the match against Johnny? And he's there with his arm out. It's like, I don't care. I'm going to beat him.
Yeah.
I'm cutting a promo.
Wearing his shades.
I quite like Priest. I think he's kind of cool.
He's definitely growing. I loved him in Ring of Honor, and he definitely keeps continuing to grow on me. And I like this a lot. Next time I get a tattoo, I'm going to wear my shades the whole time, too.
And cut a promo?
Yeah. On my tattoo artist.
Shout out Braden's tattoo artist.
We go to our main event. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan versus Fandango and Tyler Breeze. That's our main event.
That's the main.
I'm being a dick. This is our main event, impromptu match since Undisputed Era were taken out with the curiosity of who did it, who has taken them out. But this match is now happening. Danny and Oney getting their title shot here. And it's Breeze and Fandango who are making work on Danny, tagging in and out. There's like a tope atomico. There's picture-in-picture, but now it's Burch and Oney beating down on Fandango. Fandango fights back with his leg drop off the top to Burch, but Danny kicks out. There's Oney who's got like the single leg crab as Burch applies the crossface at one time. There's the Tower of London on Tyler Breeze, only a 2 count. But Fandango and Breeze come back with a double super kick to Burch and then another one to Lorcan. And then when we see like Fandango up on the top rope, a man dressed in black wearing a silver mask, like to just cover his face, and wearing a hood, for like, you would have missed it for a split second, and he throws Fandango off the top rope and then rolls back underneath the ring. And the ref did not see it. The ref is also distracted at where did Fandango go. And while this is happening, Danny Burch does something we don't see him do. And that is low blow Tyler Breeze, shot to the balls. Oney picks him up with the assisted double team DDT. And Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. Throw them up!
Throw him up.
But they did it in a sleazy way.
Yeah, we'll go to the aftermatch soon, but this match kind of disappointed me. I think on paper this doesn't look like a main event, but we've been watching for long enough where we know Burch and Lorcan put on bangers. Like I'm a big fan of them. I've actually quite enjoyed Breezango during this run. I think they've been putting on some good matches. I felt they were just treading water until the angle with this match.
Yeah.
I can't really comment much on what happened. It was really just there, which is a shame to end Breezango's reign. Like, just it kind of fizzled here.
Yeah.
A match with no like minutes announcement that we're going into this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so the match itself was nothing.
No, it wasn't. It didn't really deliver for me. I guess it didn't because of what they're going in with this angle.
Yeah.
But I was expecting a bit more of a better match because all 4 of these guys can go.
Can go, yeah.
I know I shit talk Dango and Breeze, but they've had quite a little fun run.
I think they've had a
lately.
good run. Yeah.
So it's like, it was a little weird, but that's not the important part. The important part is who helped them win, and it shows Danny and Oney in the ring, and then the masked man in the silver mask stands in the ring celebrating with them, and he takes off his hood and he takes off his mask, revealing Pat McAfee.
Oh yeah, he's back.
Pat came back. Yeah, wow. Pat McAfee stands tall and he does the Undisputed Era thing, and he's like, that, boys and girls, that's Undisputed. Pat is back, and he helped Danny and Oney win the tag titles. What does this all mean? This is a lot to unpack.
Yeah, so I'm happy for Burch and Lorcan. I think it's about time that they actually get a tag
Throw
run.
them up, yeah.
And I like that pairing Pat with them. This is going to be some kind of main event run they're having here. I assume Ridge Holland was going to be the 4th guy in this, and we're coming into November. I assume
War Games.
War Games, Undisputed against Team Pat. Yeah, I'm kind of for it, and I wasn't expecting Pat McAfee at all. Like to him removing the mask, I was like, "Who's this? Who's this going to be?" I'm all for this. I think Pat McAfee's great.
Wrestling god Pat McAfee.
I love Pat McAfee. I think it's actually kind of what NXT needs right now. A bit of a shot of something. Just
because our main event tonight was Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan versus Fandango and Tyler Breeze, so we needed something.
I can kind of see Austin Theory taking this 4th spot, maybe, because he's already had some beef with UE in recent weeks.
Right. The issue. So
you were thinking Thatcher?
Yeah, there's a different directions you can go. Clearly, it was going to be Ridge Holland was working for Pat McAfee, who took out Adam Cole at the pay-per-view. And then the group of them is going to be this four, is Ridge, Pat, and Oney and Danny. But then Ridge got hurt, so that probably affected the storyline, and they had to like rework it somehow. Or maybe Danny and Oney weren't ever going to be. But didn't Ridge beat up Oney and Danny? Like he beat the shit out of both of them.
Yes.
Yeah, so that wouldn't really make sense.
And then Oney killed his legs.
Yeah. So I don't know if that were to have come into play, but I'm not sure. But I don't really like the like takeout Undisputed Era, and then this is like it. They need a fourth person, definitely.
So, what you could do is, I remember some of those old WCW ones where you'd have the mystery fourth man, who similar with the Hogan turn. Yeah, you know, you've got the mystery fourth man. Who's it going to be? And the match starts and it becomes a 4-on-3, and maybe it's one of UE joins them in War Games.
Right.
I feel they've maybe just, I think this whole story has maybe just leapt a few steps. I imagine we'd have probably had Ridge Holland versus Adam Cole at Halloween Havoc next week, barring the injury, and then you'd have built up a few more weeks maybe until this Pat McAfee reveal, if it was always the plan with Pat. I imagine someone like Pat McAfee, this was kind of always the plan.
Sure.
I feel they've maybe skipped ahead a bit, but I'm intrigued. I'm curious to see where this all goes.
It's so silly. It's so silly that it's Pat McAfee still going after Adam Cole.
I love it.
It's so ridiculous. It's for the brand. Yeah, it's for the brand. I just can't wait to see Oney Lorcan start tweeting while being champion. He's gonna like lose his title.
He must have tweeted.
He's tweeted one photo, and it's "Snake it till you make it," and it's a picture of them with the tag titles. So with Pat. So I'm really happy for. I've watched Oney on the Indies, and he won a title tonight, so I'm happy for Oney Lorcan.
Is this gonna be the cut? Like, I've already made one with Pat doing the UE pose. Is it going to be this one now?
Pat has such a funny face.
Everyone in this photo has a funny face. Sorry, I'm going to retweet it. It's it's Pat McAfee with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Oh, man.
Danny Burch looks like he's having a poo, and Pat McAfee's laughing about it, and Oney's just like, my boys.
Yeah. What would you name them? This group? We call them 1-2 because it's 1-2.
1-2.
Brawlers.
They're the Brit Brawlers.
Yeah. What?
1-2.
1-2 Pat.
1-2 Pat.
I just call it the brand.
The brand?
I would call him the brand.
Okay.
Because he says I'm for the brand. That's his thing. So just the brand. Or the Pat McAfee show. Really is what I would call it. Throw him up. That's what I think.
1-2 McAfee. I don't know.
Oh my God. Stop.
I don't know.
So yeah, do you put Thatcher in with them? Do you put Theory in with them? There's a few avenues you could go. You could have Pat like
1-2 fee. Chris Leone said
1-2 fee.
Yeah, 1-2 fee.
So yeah, maybe Pat McAfee's like, hey Austin, I saw you drive home and you quit, but don't quit. Come back. Maybe they
and put some clothes on.
But yeah, I really felt that this ending of the show needed an angle, so at least we got this. It's Pat McAfee, so yeah, but
this wasn't a good show overall. This wasn't a good show. I kind of feel it seems in recent weeks that when, like, I feel AEW has a bigger show on paper this week, that they kind of haven't been caring. Yeah. They're like, we know it's Halloween Havoc next week. That's the one we're going to put on a big show. And this was just kind of there. I enjoyed that 6-man tag. I wouldn't particularly go out of your way to watch it. Watch the gif of the Spanish Fly, but
it was fun.
It was a fun match, but
no, I didn't hate this show, but it was just
there.
Yeah,
it was there. I did like the Pat reveal though, and I am pleased those two are tag champions. I love Pat.
You're a Pat fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Patitude Era, John Cena says the name of their stable. Well, that's what we thought about NXT from October 21st. Let's see what you thought. Forum.postwrestling.com, the Post Wrestling Forum. We post up every Wednesday, and we will read any comments or questions that you write in, including Mystery, who starts, Hiya. Johnny was great tonight during their dinner promo. However, Candice felt completely disconnected and uninteresting. She felt like the third wheel, no pun intended, in that promo segment. Even the wheel itself had more personality. Oh, come on. Io's promo, on the other hand, continues to make her feel like the biggest deal. She's oozing confidence. She completely overshadows Candice in every single regard. Candice is at best the sixth most interesting woman in NXT, behind, and he lists a bunch of people. I heavily disagree. Because you also mentioned Tony. She just came back. The reveal of Pat McAfee gave me Austin Vince vibes. Question of the week: do you see Candice and Johnny winning the titles, or do you see them losing? At this point, I'd rather see Io continue her reign, especially if Candice tonight is what we're getting next week, and I feel like Johnny should be going after the NXT title, not the North American. So I feel at the end of the day, both Io and Damien are retaining, or at least Io. They've already teased her having title matches with Ember, Tony, and Rhea, and NXT generally doesn't tease matches they don't deliver on. Plus, I have a feeling Io at least loses her title. She's almost certainly going to the main roster, and considering the track record of call-ups, it has been absolutely horrid. And mentions Retribution, and he ends with, I would rather her remain champion than be directionless in NXT or be called up and die on the main roster.
I do see Johnny winning. I don't see Candice winning. I think, especially if you're doing the interbrand thing at Survivor Series and are including NXT again, I see Io being your representative, not Candice.
Yeah. I see Johnny.
But I could see Johnny win. I can definitely see that. We go to Pappy in Dallas, new Patreon member. Thank you very much, Pappy.
Hey, Pappy.
Am I the only one that gets seriously annoyed by the little changes WWE makes to the names of things that come from WCW? Clash of the Champions became Clash of Champions. The United States Heavyweight Championship became the United States Championship. But worst of all was what was unveiled last week. They're bringing back Halloween Havoc. Awesome. They even use the same logo. Great. And they have everyone's favorite early 90s stipulation. Wait, spin the wheel, make the deal is now spin the wheel, make a deal? Why?
Boy. He really does not like changes.
Why do they try to make our heads hurt with these changes? You can't say it's a legal trademark issue. I'm an intellectual property attorney here in the US, and phrases like Clash of the Champions and spin the wheel, make the deal are not even trademarked.
Whoa!
Not to mention WWE bought WCW's intellectual property back in 2001. There is absolutely nothing to stop WWE from being faithful to something like spin the wheel, make the deal. Just wanted to vent and see if anyone else gets really annoyed about these unnecessary changes like I do. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Pappy in Dallas. Now,
Wow.
I will say,
Pappy.
thank you. I think things like Clash of Champions is just a Vinceism. I think Vince does have that weird thing where he doesn't want like WCW stuff. Like that's kind of been on record. But I looked up last week when we named our show, because I was like, is it spin the wheel, make the deal, or spin the wheel, make a deal?
Yeah.
And I ended up putting make a deal as our title for the show.
Okay.
But when I was looking, WCW called it both.
Yeah.
They called it both make a deal.
I didn't want to burst Pappy's bubble, but I was like, I'm pretty sure they used both.
And then WWE earlier in the week tweeted out make the deal. So I even looked again because I was like, did I name the show wrong? It seems like it's been interchangeable. But the other stuff and removing the heavyweight thing, I think it's so you can have, Rey Mysterio win the US title. That kind of thing.
Pappy's just a huge WCW fan.
Yeah.
And he likes the way things were before. Okay?
Absolutely.
Pappy just joined our Patreon. He's going to love some of the Halloween Havoc 93 review we did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's the OG spin the wheel.
It is.
A deal. Make the deal. Thank you, Pappy. We go to Paul from New Jersey. Isn't it amazing that one company, one universe, Monday is an atrocious fever dream while Wednesdays are consistently enjoyable? Solid match after solid wrestling with interesting storylines. I nominate the Garganos for taking segment of the year. Cameron Grimes is hilarious, and I can't wait for his match with Loomis. 9 matches with 8 finishes, while the 1 disqualification was great with Drake and Dane. It told a funny story. Winners and losers, what a concept. Triple H must be some sort of sorcerer. NXT's the A show of wrestling, revenge of the McAfee. This week's Kona fact, Kona has population of 11,975.
Is that just his teeth?
I'm imagining Kona is a city somewhere,
right.
or a town somewhere. Yeah. See you Sunday.
There were 9 matches tonight.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
We go to Crooked Letter 9. The go-home show for Halloween Havoc was a good show that went next level by the end. More on that in a bit. The Gargano skip with the wheel was hilarious. Johnny Gargano has found his voice as a comedic heel, and his reactions towards some of the wheel choices were so funny.
Yes.
Ember Moon shows no signs of ring rust in her second match back. Legado del Fantasma versus Swerve, Adonis and Atlas was a fun trios match. Kushida continues to pick up steam on Back to the Future Day nonetheless. Xia Li has turned heel, which could be a sign of her becoming a player in the Shark Tank of the women's division. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan are the new tag team champions, long overdue by the way. With an assist from Pat McAfee, Adam Cole must be stewing right now. Can next week get here?
We go to Mystery. Gonna cheat and post a second bit of feedback. He says, but from a friend who is a first-time listener, he doesn't register and doesn't have the feedback. Well, he should. He wants to know if you guys think that Ridge Holland was originally supposed to be the heavy. Yeah, I think I think he's the person Pat paid to.
Yes.
He paid him to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I have one more piece of feedback here from Mike Hogan.
Yeah, tell him to join the forum.
He can't. He's been trying. He keeps on doing his lost password thing and the email doesn't come through. So, sort it out, John and Way.
Yeah.
All right, mates. The mates match is my... What?
This is why you should join the forum.
I was mainly watching the competition tonight, but flipped back and forth and felt I still caught up. To me, NXT works best on a cycle, but the guys who were about to reach the top of the cycle, Keith Lee, Riddle and Dijak, have left, and the previous top guys are still there, Gargano, Yui and Ciampa. While they feel established, they're feeling a bit stale. The middle of the card, your Grimes, Loomis, Reeds of the world, feel like they floated in the same spot for ages when they should be on the way up. The women's division is fantastic, but the men feel like they need a big shot in the arm. I feel Pete Dunne coming back would help a lot, and I like that Kushida is getting a bit of a push, but I ask you lads, who would you like to see come into NXT to liven things up? We haven't had a hottest free agent for a while, and I'd like to see Jay White come in. I think he would be incredible. Shout out to Braden, shout out to Portman, shout out to Portman's chest tough, and shout out to Halloween Havoc next week.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Mike Hogan.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I kind of agree with your choice there. I think if Jay White were to leave New Japan, I actually see NXT as actually a more interesting place for him than AEW. I think I'd like to see Jay White in an NXT.
Jay White wrestles a WWE style.
I think so. I think he feels like a WWE wrestler, and I think he's someone you'd put right in the top.
Yeah, that would definitely freshen some things up.
I can't think of other people who aren't really signed.
I know
my head.
There's the Ben Carter guy there's talks of him being signed.
Yeah, I don't see him being a game changer though.
No,
he's not going to be. He's going to be in NXT UK.
Well, think about it. When NXT was like super hot, you had your guy in the crowd, right? Like or your secret people from the indies.
It was your ROH. It was your TNA people.
But
which
we don't have that now.
No.
So like, yeah, there's really no one that would make me go, whoa. Maybe it would be Jay White. But
I think that's probably
that. I don't know. Not something I like. He's not one of my favorites. So
I think he's got strong character work and is really good in the ring. I think he'd freshen things up. The main thing is, as Hogan's saying here, it's stale. You're having your Garganos, Ciampas, and Yui who are kind of just there still.
Right. And
you're missing that who's in the front row who's going to then just be propelled to the main event right away.
Yeah. They're fine right now. I like the fact that they instantly turned Kyle O'Reilly into a main player and then kind of put it on the back burner. But going back to something you said earlier where you think there could be the fourth man is like a Swerve, you could do Kyle as the leader.
Exactly.
Right? You
exactly.
could do Kyle with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan or something, right? So there's there's a few different things to spice things up. And you're talking about bringing people in. They just brought back Pat.
Yes.
So I mean, we're
that
fine.
was the shot in the arm we needed.
Yeah, Pat McAfee is a champion.
Yes. So shout out to Pat McAfee. Let's do some more shout outs to our lovely patrons.
Yeah.
Who allow us to keep this show for free every
Yes.
week with their wonderful support. We've got a load of new patrons here. Do you want to start things off?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Caleb Johnston. Shout out to Sean Calhoun. Shout out to Matt Guest.
Yeah, shout him out.
And shout out to Robert Rose. And shout out to Greg Clark.
Shout out to all you guys. I also want to give a big shout out to Joshua Quietnia. I apologize. I don't know how to say that
Still
last name.
shout you out, though.
Looks Welsh and I'll shout you out. Shout you out. Shout out to Keish. Shout out to Papul Chowdhury. Shout out to Andre. And shout out to Thomas Mulligan.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you, all people who listen to this show and all the shows we do. If you like this show and you want to hear more of us, patreon.com/upnext. I mentioned the Halloween Havoc 93 review. We did the Evil Dead. We have so many things. $5 a month, North American tier. Lets you get access to all the shows we do. Was Next, Best Match Ever, all that stuff. Like we mentioned, our Batman Returns movie review is out on this free feed tomorrow night. You can listen to that, listening to us talk about Danny DeVito eating fish. Then join us this weekend. Like we mentioned, you'll be doing the watch along for Bound for Glory, and then our watch along for Hell in a Cell as well. YouTube.com/upnext. And shout out everyone in the YouTube room every Wednesday night, including tonight. You guys always make the chat fire, and I appreciate you guys listening. Is that it?
That is everything.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
We'll see you very, very soon.
Twitter, UpNext Podcast, and Instagram, UpNext Podcast. I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me. I am at the Brady.
And I'm at Davie Portman.
And take care. Be safe. Love yourself. Love one another. Thank you, David. Shout out Davie Portman. Appreciation to you for taking care of me when I was an absolute wreck. I appreciate you. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And please, someone check on Xia Lee.
Ahoy!
Shout out Xia Lee.
Shout out Xia Lee.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you
so
guys
much.
Thank you guys for making this fun every week. We appreciate it.
We hope to see you all again on come Saturday. Even if you're not watching Bound for Glory, come and join us.
Yeah.
Shout out TNA Wrestling.
Shout out TNA Wrestling. No, they're not called TNA Wrestling.
Shout out Impact.
Yeah, I would never shout them.
Shout out TNA as well.
Yeah.
Shout out Anthem.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
All right, guys. We love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for making the chat
We're
fire,
going to roll
guys.
the music now.
Yeah.
Peace. Bye.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these days as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.